1899, the end of a glorious century for the mighty British Empire. Britain was in the process of taking yet another land for her own, and had called upon her colonies to stand with her, to aid her as she gunned down the Boers of the Transvaal. We were one of those colonies, an outpost at the uttermost ends of the earth, a ragtag bunch of Englishmen, Māori, Dalmatians, Bohemians, Chinese, in a land far from world trade or international politics. We were isolated. We were alone. But national identity? We weren't even a nation. But we had a name, Kiwi. And so our men stood with Britain to forge an identity that would make each and every one of us proud of that name. A name is a powerful thing. Our names describe us. Our names define us. A name contains the very essence of its bearer. Some names mean more to us than others. Unless you also happen to be Caitlin Smart, you will never know the love of truth, the obsession with biplanes, and the millions upon millions of traits, values, quirks that make up me. What about your name? Think of all the meaning that it holds. What else could define you as well as your name? Look into your heart. You'll see plenty of other names there. Mother, father, child, teacher, lover, friend. But keep going. Just that little bit further. See there? Those names etched along the bottom. Names we have taken to represent thousands of men and women, all of whom showed bravery, valour, ingenuity, and integrity. Names like Gallipoli, Crete, and Afghanistan. Most of us probably couldn't point to it on a map, but Gallipoli means something to every New Zealander. The diggers who fought, who died here, showed traits that epitomise the very best of what it means to be Kiwi. Courage, dexterity, loyalty, and more. And so, every Anzac Day, we commemorate the names lost and the name gained. Gallipoli. Now those men who crowded along the beaches, ears racked by the sound of gunfire and salt spray in their eyes, they weren't worried about the Triple Entente, Balkan troubles, or the naval arms race. They were simply there because an old woman needed them. Britannia, her trident tarnished and long tresses graying, needed someone to protect her name. And as a certain Mr. Savage once said, where Britain goes, we go. One man who answered Britain's call was Corporal John Francis Kelleher, a member of the New Zealand Field Artillery. But as I imagine him crawling through the blood and mud-soaked trenches of France, he is not John. No, my great-great-grandfather takes on the names those brigades rightfully won, like Passchendaele or the Somme. Unlike many, he survived that war. And after a 20-year ceasefire, as Major, he stood at Auckland Wharf to watch another group of young men go off to more names. Names that would not be won easily, but through blood, tears, and toil. The Battle of Britain, Guadalcanal, Casino. After the horrors of the Second World War, Britain, her power weakened, no longer needed us. So, to face the increasing threat of communism, we courted the United States. We agreed that if she protected our name, if ever we were in peril, we would spread hers around the globe. This led to so many arguments and controversies, but in the end, we upheld that virtue of loyalty so many fellow Kiwis had died for. Korea, Malaya, Vietnam. Even today, our servicemen and women still fight for the power of names. For the past 40 years, in their role as peacekeepers, they have rejected the idea of fighting for resources or for glory. Instead, living out the values forged in South Africa all those years ago, they risked their lives to protect the names of those who cannot fend for themselves. And in doing so, they are still scratching names into our hearts. East Timor, the Solomons, Iraq. 113 years of names. To those brave men and women who risked their names to both the blizzards of war and the sands of time, we have not forgotten you. Although your birth names may not be with us here today, let it be known that names befitting you are placed in all of our hearts. As Gallipoli, Crete, and Afghanistan, we will remember you. But there is one more, a name so powerful, so precious, you gave your own to protect. A name every New Zealand soldier filled with meaning and pride. And so, we bestow upon you a name that we may all share, but you were truly worthy of. Kiwi.